keep going? Or is that bad?
No, that's good.
The title is not clickbait. It is true. I lost 53 pounds. And I am down to approximately 7 to 8% body fat. Now, I'm going to tell you guys how I did it. And I'm going to explain all the details just in case anybody wants to try doing it. And it's going to be a little longer, but I'll try to get through it. But pretty much, if you guys been around, last year I did the 10,000 calorie a day challenge. And after that, I was 230 pounds. It was last year, October. I was 230 pounds, the heaviest I ever was in my life. And oh my gosh, it was crazy. I was big and I was the strongest I ever was. That's when I got 365 up on the bench. That's when I was getting the 5-plate deadlift up, 4-plate squat. It was insane. And yeah, after that, I decided to cut. And I've been cutting from last year, October, all the way up until now. I weighed 177 pounds. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. So I'm going to detail what I did. But before we do that, let's just go over some history. So I've been working out pretty much since I was a little boy. But I didn't start really gaining mass or weight until I was a freshman in college. In fact, when I was a senior in high school, I weighed 120 to 130 pounds. Yeah. And if you guys remember back on the CBW channel, I was extremely skinny, very small. And I always had trouble packing on weight. And I decided enough's enough. I started going to a better gym and I started really focusing on my nutrition. I started eating everything on my plate and more. I even started weight gainer protein shake. I bulked up all the way to 170, cut back down to 150, 160, and then I bulked all the way up until 2023. In 2023, I had my big Hawaii trip and I wanted to cut for that, but I weighed 212 pounds in 2023. And that is when I first got up 315 on the bench. One of my biggest goals ever. My biggest goal, my biggest dream was to bench 3 plates. I was told by friends, family members, everyone that I would never be able to do it. And I proved them wrong. And I showed anything is possible. And I finally benched 315 for the first ever time, all the way back in 2023, around January-ish time. And I weighed 212. I then cut around February, March, and I cut all the way from 212 to 179. So I actually haven't been below even 200 pounds since 2023. So it's been almost 3 years since I've been below 200. And that's nuts. But anyways, I bulked up after the Hawaii trip. And I pretty much been on a slow bulk. Now I've done some mini cuts, but it's pretty much been a consistent big bulk ever since 2023. So since then, I went from 170 slowly, I got to 215, cut down to 205, kept bulking. And it took all this time, years, but I finally got to 230 last October. And I wasn't fat, but I was really bulky and big. But I knew, everyone knows, your body better than anyone. I knew I had to cut some fat off. And I decided to go on a mega big cut because I did get 365, even 375 up on the bench with equipment. And yeah, I got all the way down to about 212 around mid-December time. But here's the problem. When I decided I was going to cut, I started doing cardio and abs a lot. I was doing a lot of cardio and a lot of abs. And I was kind of focusing on my nutrition. I was still eating kind of whatever, but I was making sure the protein was high. And that's why a lot of my strength has still stayed even to this day. But I wasn't really, I was stuck in the midway point from 210 to 215, 212 average. I was fluctuating there for probably good 3 to 4 months. and I had a lot of trouble losing weight. I was still doing cardio and abs. I was still keeping the protein really high, but I wasn't losing weight, and I was really wondering why. And I realized it's the diet. And this is what I want to preface, and this is where you hear it all the time from all the gym bros. You are what you eat, and eating is truly 80% of the battle. You can work out hard in the gym, but you are not going to see the results you want unless you make the changes in your lifestyle and at home. When I cut off sweets from my diet, I immediately lost 10 pounds. I'm not lying. Right when I cut off sweets from my diet, brownies, cookies, candy, name it. And I cut off all sweets first, and I lost 10 pounds. And I lost 10 pounds in like a week. Yeah. Seriously, if you cut off all sweets from your diet, you will lose weight immediately, and I promise you that. So after that, I decided to start fasting, because after I cut the sweets off, I was probably like 205. And then I started to fast. Now, fasting, think about it. When you sleep for 8 hours, your body doesn't get food for 8 hours when you sleep. That's a fast in itself. So imagine not eating breakfast for 2 or 3 hours. That's already like a 10, 11, 12-hour fast in itself. Imagine skipping lunch. Now, you're probably thinking, Jacob, why'd you do this? I want you to roll the clocks back to the caveman times, prehistoric. Humans aren't used to eating breakfast. There's a reason you're not hungry in the morning. When you wake up, you're not hungry. You're hungry 2 or 3 hours after you wake up, and that's because the body isn't designed that way. We as humans are used to waking up and hunting for our food. Maybe we'll get to eat later. We're not used to just waking up and making eggs and eating right away. No. So that's why fasting burns a lot of fat, a lot of calories, and a lot of carbs off of your body. And it has been, I can't voice this enough. Fasting is so important. Just skip breakfast and pretty much skip lunch if you want. Just have a big dinner or a big dinner, and that just helped me a lot. And it burns a lot of fat off, because then your body goes to the fat for energy. Now, imagine doing that. And imagine throwing a workout while fasted. Yeah. Imagine doing fasted cardio. Imagine waking up in the morning going on a run. Imagine waking up in the morning, instead of eating, go straight to the gym, start lifting weights. That's what I did. And I lost so much weight. Not only did I lose weight from cutting sweets off, fasting, and fasted cardio, and fasted workouts. I fasted every single day for the past, I want to say, 4 or 5 months. And I've lost all this weight. Seriously. I can't stress this enough. Do fast, please. No one in the fitness industry talks about this. Fasted workouts is such a, it's not a secret, but it's such a great and healthy and good way. It resets your dietary tract. You feel great. It's such an amazing feeling. Please, for God's sake, if you're trying to lose weight, stop eating breakfast, wake up and work out. Or just wait to eat until later, Can't stress that enough. So I did that, and I still was losing weight. I was doing really heavy cardio, really heavy abs near the end there. But then I decided to throw carb cycling in there. Now, carb cycling, oh man, you have 0 to little carbs every single day except 1 day out of the week. 1 day out of the week, you can have carbs. And that day for me was Saturday. Every Saturday, I would carb up with good carbs, by the way, not shit carbs. I'm talking white rice, potatoes, bread, just like good natural carbs. Carb up, hundreds, thousands of carbs, and then the rest of the week, 0 to little carbs. And how do you do that? Meal prepping, by only having meat and vegetables. Imagine having meat and vegetables every meal, all week, except 1 day out of the week. Carb cycling is another great way to lose fat, because your body will not go to carbs for energy. It'll go directly to your fat, and it burns a lot of fat off. And a lot of bodybuilders do this trick because it really helps, tear a lot of fat off the body and burn it really fast. Not only you're fasting, not only you're doing fasted cardio, not only are you doing fasted workouts and cutting off sweets, Now you're carb cycling. Good luck not losing weight doing all of that. Now, of course, I was doing all that. I got to about 180, 185, 190, somewhere around there. And that's when I decided, okay, I said I was going to cut until I can't bench 3 plates anymore. And you're going to lose strength when you cut. That's just life. And I said, if I can't even bench it for 1, I'll stop cutting. I couldn't even bench it for 1. So I decided to stop cutting. So I decided to cut my water and my sodium out. I was only eating chicken every day, every meal for days. I cut out sodium from my normal diet too, and I cut all my water out. Now, obviously, please God, don't do this unless you're competing. I probably shouldn't have even done it, but I did, and yeah. I got to 177 pounds. I cut almost 10 pounds off my body just cutting out the water and sodium. Now, I'm back at step 1. I decided to refeed. I took my pics and everything, and now I'm refeeding, and I'm here to announce I am bulking again. But it's going to be more intense this time. You guys probably remember Trey Savior, the guy I fought in WCEF all those years ago. Me and him are buddies, by the way. He bulked up to 240. Yeah. So now I'm motivated. I want to beat that. So I can't get to 240 in just 6 months. It's going to probably take a couple years. And that's fine because I'm going to plan to bulk for a really long time. I'm going to bulk all the way up to 240 and try and beat Trey's body weight PR, if you will. And also I'm going to do it because I'm going to hit a new life goal of mine. I'm going to get to the 4-plate bench press. And I can't do that if I weigh below 200. So I cut all this fat off and I proved that I can do it and I look good and everything is great. And now my body's in a perfect area to where I can now pack on more muscle, more fat, and I can go after that 4-plate bench press and I can get to 240 body weight. And I know I'm going to do it. It might require some mini cuts, meaning I bulk 20, 30 pounds, and then I cut 5 or 10 pounds off. Then I bulk for 20, 30 pounds, then I cut 5, 10 pounds off. Just so I can, get big, cut some fat, get big, cut some fat, This cut was huge. I cut 53 pounds off. I'm not going to do that again. And low key, if you ask me right now, I don't even know if I want to do that again. I just love the bulky look. I hate being cut. It just being shredded and cut, I don't know, you're just weak and you're just small. I just like the bulky and big giant look. I like being the biggest in the room. I like being the strongest in the room. I really feel like I'm talented in heavy lifting and I love powerlifting and I want to get stronger and I want to get bigger. So that's just my real passion. I just don't have passion for bodybuilding. I mean, sorry, it's just kind of stupid. I'd rather be big and strong, even if I'm a little bulkier. I'm not going to get fat. I'm going to get bulkier. Ben Affleck Batman. That's what I'm thinking. So that's my plan. And that's why I haven't uploaded in a while because, to be honest, I haven't really been getting good lifts and I haven't been feeling very confident. But old Jacob Wayne's coming back. We're going to be powerlifting and we're going to be getting strong again. And we're going after that 4-plate bench press and we're going to get it. I believe in myself, my friends, my people around me. And this bulk is going to go crazy. I'm going to record it for all of you guys to see. I hope I inspire some of you guys to, keep going out and achieve your dreams. Because right now, my dream is to bulk up past 200, 220, get to 240, and to bench 4 plates, and to deadlift 6 plates, and to squat 5 plates. And I know I'm going to get it. This bulk around. I spent this whole last year cutting/maintaining. Now is the bulk. And I'm going to get it. And I don't care if it takes years. Hell, that's years of content here. That's years of heavy lifting I get to put up here. So, yeah, wish me luck and let's do this. If you guys have any questions about cutting, bulking, or anything, you can let me know. But starting today, the bulk starts now.